everybody, it's Melissa Sorrentino, the Improv Sophisticate. I'm here to talk to you about improv and how it affects your life and how life affects your improv. And I have a bit of an illustration in my little setup here today. I was just setting up my camera and I decided to put it in a different spot because it's nighttime and the lighting is different at night. It's very yellow. I apologize for that. I don't like it. My topic today is decluttering. We are all about decluttering our houses. Some people even go so far, and I do, as the concept of decluttering your life, decluttering your, edit your friendships, edit your business arrangement, edit your life partners, like people you spend your time with, like continually just kind of keeping things on a little bit of a smaller scale so that it's manageable. So that, there's so many things that could be talked about. There's quality over quantity when you declutter your life. There's focus versus scattered focus when you declutter your life. And there's also more potency in the things that you do choose to have. They actually sort of stand out more. Like, for example, if you have an array of photographs all over your wall versus if you just choose a couple and make them big and then put a couple on the side, then you're really enhancing that one central photograph. Different things that actually have to do with, as an artist, as a painter, composition is super important. As a writer, staying focused and really fleshing something out is really valuable when you're writing because you don't want to be all over the place. And I'm not saying that you can't be nonlinear. I'm actually all about nonlinear writing. But I'm talking about really sinking your teeth into something and getting the full potent deliciousness out of a moment, out of a character, out of a situation, and just really being able to just kind of home in rather than continue to scatter out. And whether you do utilize the scatter out concept and the home in, then you can get a little push-pull, create tension in that way. You can get real intense about something and then take a breather and even in cinematography, they'll sometimes the edit will just be cutting from me to you, to me to you. That's the editing. And then all of a sudden there's a shot of the city and we all take a moment, we kind of release the tension of maybe that two-person scene that we just saw. We all just have a little bit of a respite from that. And then we also maybe are recalibrating. Our mind can say, okay, transition. Okay, maybe there's going to be a time jump. Maybe there's going to be a back flashback. Maybe there's going to be clearly a location change. These are devices that people use, but there's a reason. The devices aren't just arbitrary, and they're not just there for you to learn and call devices. I think that's gross. I fucking hate the word trope. I know it's in, but fuck trope, that comes from reality. Oh, a woman having a baby, that's a trope. Oh, a mom and a daughter having a relationship, that's a trope. Fuck you. Not everything's a trope, Of course, in formulaic writing, I know what it is. I'm not retarded, but oh, you use that word again. I keep doing that. I have got to get, that's inappropriate and I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway, my setup here. So I put the, the camera's in front of me. Obviously, that's why you can see me. The camera is here and it's a little bit, it's kind of at head level to me. And I was like, okay, I always would just prefer a blank background, but then it's a whole thing where I've got to move my table and so, I'd rather it just be right here. And it's just blank and it's just me. That to me, because I'm all about decluttering, I think that's best because it's then all you have to do is focus on me. You're not going, what's that thing over there? What's that thing over there? But I thought this was a good illustration because it speaks to a couple of different things. Over here, I have whatever vase with some like fake flowers. There's some Christmas flowers in there. You probably can't tell, but that's the intention here because it's Christmas time. And then here I've got a Christmas tree. It's not plugged in actually. I should have plugged it in. But here's a Christmas tree, right? And here's a little thing around the trunk. Now, you may be looking at it and thinking, that looks like shit, because you can't really see either. And for my personal taste, I don't prefer that. This all just kind of looks like clutter to me. I'd rather just have a blank wall. If you can't tell what it even is, I'd rather have a blank wall. But it depends on what I'm trying to say. If I'm trying to say something like this character feels hemmed in, maybe in my writing I might write it that way. Or, or even smaller and tighter and darker and more shadowy. Now we're talking cinematic things. But you can put that into your improv, whether it's movie form or just by mention or just by creation of space, or even just the way you are. You're like, oh my God, this closet is so small. Yeah, I've never played 7 minutes in the closet before. Oh, well, I totally have. It's stupid. You just stand in here and you just don't even, that's my scene. And close, because, the girl jumped on the guy, or vice versa, whatever, however you saw it. So we could do this, right? And now it's, my normal kind of setup. You see the plant, you see me. That creates something where it's almost like a I'll try to study that guy. Just like a 2-person shot where you're like, oh, okay, this is something going on here, just to sort of fill a space, and then me. If that was a blank wall, that would be my preference, okay? And then, of course, that's where people put bullet points. What I'm trying to say here is you can see, I'm trying to illustrate visually what a difference it makes. If you have a 2-person scene, or how you maybe paint your scene work when you're doing an improv scene, what it looks like, this could be one way to do it. This, of course, could be another way, and then I've got a light flare there, but there's like the Christmas tree and just me, or, just the centered thing. And, in that way, we've got a composition. And then for me, for my eye, because I'm really kind of anal, I like that because it's balanced. So I like balance. But my point is about cluttering. Now, if you like a certain amount of like a homey, cluttery thing, some of these things are going to be subjective, but it does have actual legitimacy behind choices. My sister, for example, there's, a lot of people are like this, but like my sister is one that, like, if she walked into, the way that my front room looks right now, she might be comfortable in here and thinks it looks really nice because I have Christmas decorations out, and there's like some placemats on my table, and I have these little like decorative bows out on the placemats, just various things that make it seem homey. Now, for her, the word that really like she enjoys when it comes into a home is homey, lived in, homey. Now, the way I tend to keep this front room is usually that tree's gone. There's nothing usually on the table except one vase. I like things uncluttered. And the word that I like for that is, to me, that's like serene. That's like peaceful. My eye's not going all over the place. It's just peaceful, So different ways that people can make these choices are going to affect your scene work. They're going to affect your writing and, of course, your painting. So this is really something about art in general that you need to have, like, just a cognizance of it. A cognizance. I am really, if you haven't noticed, I'm really big on contrast. It's like, this isn't right and this is wrong. But if you have no sense of awareness, unbalance, balance, if you don't have that sense of awareness in tiny, like in a linear fashion with like a long form, you're not going to recognize why are those people so good when you saw that show, when you saw that, improv festival. What was it that was so satisfying about that? It might not just have been they're good at yes and, or they're funny. there might be a lot of other things going on that you're not really noticing, which there's a sense that goes like, okay, we had a two-person scene, and then we had a chaotic scene, and now we're bringing it back to a peaceful monologue. You know, these are palate cleansers in in between the chaos. These are like the bread in your club sandwich. Just, analogies all around. I've got a ton. But for me personally, I think it's a really important thing, especially for earlier and greener improvisers, to really try to keep yourself focused on the moments. You can always default into chaos because it's more like life. That's more easy. But if you're not used to just being chill on a stage, there's nothing to be frantic about right now, being patient. Patient and hesitant are two different things. I'm going to talk about that. So I just recommend that you have a concept, just, float that around in the back of your brain next time you're doing an artistic endeavor and think, can I declutter here? Can I edit this down? Can I limit my choices and create more focus on one or two or three aspects here? What am I doing? When I'm telling a story, it's not just about plot and about all the obvious things that storytelling is about. It's also about like a sense of energy. Is this a homie? Is this a cacophony? Is this like and vibe that out. And if somebody comes out and does like a game slot and they're like, I'm a sailor and I like to sail. I'm a nurse and I like to nurse. I'm a general in the army and I like to generalize, and you're playing that game. Recognize that there's a pacing. Recognize that there's an increase of chaos, and then vamp that up by adding speed and not just speed, but like visual clutter. Maybe huddle in, do various levels on your stage. Things that are visual, things that have sound, all kinds of all of the little media that we reach out and utilize as artists are available to us. And this video, I hope, put a little something into your mind to go, I really haven't thought very much about whether my scenes are cluttered or uncluttered, and whether my sense of the overall vibe is cacophonous or peaceful. And I just wanted to put that out there in the form of a video to give you guys something fun and interesting to explore. All right, that's all I have for you today. My name again is Melissa Sorrentino, and this has been the Improv Sophisticate. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Okay, take care. Bye.